I need to get used to winning, because last week we had a trophy here from the rugby people, and now this week is Mark. I need to walk in here with a trophy. Someone award me something, whether for standing in for Kabura very well on PRESSBOX. Give me a trophy so that I walk in here next week and say Ismail won, because I'm not one. Please.
Matter of time.
Yeah, but
it's a matter of time. Yeah. You're definitely going to win something.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the good.
No, it's but you're way too good to not walk away with something in your career.
But it's no, he won, but the awards were not there at the time.
It's a PRESSBOX. While coming here, I was really looking forward to this segment of the show, and not because Everton and Arsenal are starting in not too long, but it's our topic. Go to Twitter, find NTV PRESSBOX, find NTV Uganda, and post your comment. Awards and controversy. Last week, as we walked out of here, Mark was a bit nagged that Messi had won the Ballon d'Or. I've seen from a lot of the comments throughout the week, and in the aftermath of the Airtel FIFA Player of the Year awards, many of you are as nagged or even angry that Bobosi won the award ahead of Eric Kambale and Yunus Sentamu. Now we decided as PRESSBOX to bring someone from the award committee, and right here next to me is Rogers Byamukama, who is an executive committee member of FIFA and chairman awards organizing committee.
Sure.
The man is here. So surely we are going to take it from the horse's mouth. Rogers, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers. And most importantly, congratulations once again to Mark.
Thank you.
For a very well-deserved award.
Thank you.
And I think listening to comments over this show, it is a testament that at least we have one unanimous decision.
All three judges.
Rogers, I spent my weekend traveling across Uganda, and I was very lucky to meet very many people who watch this show. But Rogers, are you impressed by the way the ceremony was conducted? Let's start with the small things. The way the ceremony transpired at Munyon, was that exactly how you planned it?
Absolutely, and from the comments we got from people that participated, those that watched from home, I think it was a very well arranged event, and we hope that next year we can better that
Sure.
mark, and hopefully we'll have a more unanimous winners, but we're still proud of our winners.
Okay. There were several winners, but the biggest of them, Bobosi. How? Rogers, how?
But on the serious note, I shouldn't be answering that, because right about yesterday, the day before, the man justified his
No, he rescued.
winning.
He got you out of the gallows with that goal. But what I want the viewer to understand, and that's why this is a PRESSBOX, it's not anywhere, any other place. It's prime time television, like we call it. What's the criteria? How does Bobosi come out on top? Kambale scored more and won the league.
And Yunus was not.
Yunus scored more than he did, and goals, they count for so much. How does Bobosi? What is the criteria?
Kambale
Okay.
won Sekafa too.
Yeah. Let's start.
Kambale won Sekafa too.
Let's start from the basics. First and foremost, I do not remember any.
How do we get nominees?
I am coming,
Okay.
but I need to give the context.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
First and foremost, I do not remember any award ceremony in the world that has been unanimous, especially at this level.
Apart from.
That said, apart from Max.
No, I think I've seen one or two comments on Twitter which of people were like also asking about that one.
Yeah.
Even
This,
in our group.
among the thousands of like yes.
Even in the journalist group, some were asking how you deserve
I was told,
Yeah,
and
of course.
I have a few choice words for, but
No.
let's go ahead.
But having said that, every awards have objective and obviously have criteria.
Yeah.
And in our case, the objective, one of the key objectives actually, is to recognize and reward outstanding athletes in a season.
Yeah.
All right? Now, and of course, how does one become outstanding? One becomes outstanding from the eyes of, number one, the technical people. Number two, the fans for whom the players actually perform for.
Yeah.
Now, how do we arrive at the list? At the beginning of this process, captains of Premier League clubs and coaches do their nomination. All for us that we do is to summarize of these nominations from the 16 coaches and 16 captains, who are the top 5.
How many do they nominate? How many do you put on your list? Mole Viekwa, coach KCCA. When you send me a form, how many am I allowed to list?
I think they list 3.
Okay.
Now,
they are top 3.
Yes. Now, at that level, numbers are tabulated, and the top 5, you know, comes up.
Yeah.
At that point, anybody is as good as the other. I would be surprised, or I would be concerned, if we have a winner who nobody claims nominated. All right. Sure. Now that's the first step. Once we get these top 5, we put them out on a platform for people to vote, and every person is allowed to vote at least once. 24 hours for those that have, you know,
I've been a keen vote over the past few weeks.
A sweet thing on their phones. You can vote, you know, once every 24 hours. But by and large, you still can't vote 14 times. But having said that, you have 5 names. I think after a week, they are reduced to 3.
Okay.
All right. Now, if I remember correctly, the 5 names, there was Yunus Sentamu, and I think, who was the 5th one? But anyway, the 3, Bobosi, Kayondo, and Kambale. And people vote.
Kajimu might have been there.
Yes,
was the 5th
I
one,
think,
yeah.
yes. People vote. Now, at that point of voting, I know of one person on this panel here who voted more than 4 times. All right? At that level, it is...
I want to state categorically that I did not vote at all.
Okay, I voted. I voted every single day.
I voted for Kambale, but I don't know if the system was blocking me. I wanted to so many times.
If you wanted to vote more than once in 24 hours, it blocked you.
I tried.
So, do you have a maximum of how many votes you must cast?
Every 24 hours, you vote once.
You vote once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes. I was voting because
I didn't understand the dynamics. So I think I tried in a shorter space.
Yeah,
and I was blocked.
So anyway,
I got a second.
The moment it comes to fans to vote, the technical competences, in my opinion, because fans vote for emotions and sentiments, not necessarily technical. The technical bit has been done by the technical people to give you the names. Thereafter, the fans vote. Now, I have seen some people that have gone out of their way to do campaigns for their favorite player. We can question whether that is the methodology that gives us the right MVP, but we cannot question the person that eventually gets the most votes. And in this case, in 2021, was Bobosi Byamukama. I am happy, as the chairman organizing committee, to listen to any other way that you would think would bring a more deserving player.
But was it the only one, Rogers? Or was it the only one? So are you saying that all the votes we cast online were the only way the guy won?
Yes.
What percentage?
There was no percentage for Byamukama and his crew and...
No, of course there were percentages, but I think Bobosi, got 57%, if I'm not mistaken. 57%, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think Mark's question is, besides us who are voting, what other person is voting? What percentage does our online vote contribute? Is it 25%? Is it 100%? Is it
I have heard that bit, and we have said it before, but I think people took it out of context. When we said that the voters contribute I think 25%. People thought that FUFA actually has 75%. No. The understanding is that the guys that do the technical
the ones who have voted already
from the many players have done the 75% of the work, and the 25% is because you have been given options. The guys that start from the beginning, they sieve from so many and give you few. So they've done the bulk of the work.
So you're saying that is the coaches and the players?
Yes.
And not
the coach and the captain.
Not Byamukama. You'd be surprised who I voted.
Let's go, Andrew.
Andrew, please.
Andrew is burning. Andrew is burning. And you know, as Andrew comes in, go to our social media handles and also make your comment. I know already people here, and Andrew is going to read. And Andrew, since you're going to ask a question, I hope that when you're reading on social media, you're going to read exactly what is on social media.
Yes, I'll get there. But before I even come back to that, because that's the point I will finish on. First, big congratulations to Bobosi Byamukama, because we can hear all the noise and all and think he perhaps wasn't deserving. I think he had a great season. Yeah, he's a young boy coming through.
You first remind the viewers what a great season. What happened? What did he achieve?
He was a silver medalist at the AFCON Under-20. Yeah. Of course, I remember that beautiful pass to Kakoza, and then of course he also won. He was the MVP Uganda Cup as Vipers won it, and of course he won Sekafa as well. As one of the older players in the Under-20 Sekafa. And when you watch the game, you can see what he's trying to do.
He was also the MVP for the inaugural Star Times All-Star Games.
Yeah.
Okay, 10.
So he's been knocking.
I didn't forget those, but yes.
He was.
And also he was introduced in the Cranes. Yeah, they didn't do much.
He's one of the only two players that started
all the six World Cup
qualifying games. So on that front, you could say...
So there's a lot more than I thought. Okay.
So he wasn't, I mean, a bad choice. Now, let's go to Kambale. Eric Kambale, of course, instrumental in the 2 trophies that Express
15
won.
goals at Express.
In the league, and then of course he scored 3 at Sekafa, scored the winner in the semi-finals, set up Martin Chiza's winner in the final. Yeah. So literally when you look at participated in more, Campbell, of course, we know issues with nationality, hasn't got a chance to play for a national team. And you see of the 2 where they participated, whose contribution added more weight? This is a matter of opinion. I would say Eric Kambale did. So in terms of technical, if it was the technical people to get the final call, perhaps I think Kambale could have won, but no disrespect to Bobosi whatsoever. He's a young boy, and for me, I know Ismail will get there, but the character he showed with that screamer to level against KCCA, after KCCA fans were calling him a Mubi and all because of the controversial, award. That was for me the first test he passed as a young boy. So for me there, kudos to him. Now that's done.
And those moments are only for big players.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And I could say, Andrew, I'm very happy to report that I've had a chance to speak to him. I think he has a good head on his shoulders. He's quite calm.
And he also has a very good story, listening to what he said, that the awards
from playing in the Airtel Rising Stars as a kid. Yeah.
The Airtel Rising Stars, which in the part commercially I could say is playing a big role. He played in the Airtel coming through, so it's a good project.
Yeah, he played in the Airtel Rising Stars, then came to the FUFA Juniors League.
But the story is deeper.
Yeah, the story is deeper.
Has not gone through Airtel Rising Stars in the last couple of years.
They have, yeah.
Maybe
many have.
But for me, the bit about Chisoro, the boy coming from Chisoro, losing a father, and then Justus Mugisha
picking him up,
and his school giving him the bursary when he was about to drop out of school, was touching. I think at that point he even cried. During his speech.
Yeah, the story. And when I was watching some of the pictures on television, that moment when it tells "Mommy, come," I'm thinking, you should get another Ballon d'Or for this.
Thank you for your supplement. And I need
for the story.
Thank you very much. That's very valuable. So we now get to the voting.
Yeah.
Very good criteria you've shared with us. And you actually opened it up saying if anyone has a better alternative, and I'm here to offer the alternative.
Okay.
So the technical people do the sieving and present you with a cream. And then you put the cream before an adrenaline-filled, excited fan and hand them 100% power to determine from that cream from the technical people. After that, for me, it's a popularity contest, not necessarily what weight measured here and there. Now, going forward, if we were to avoid all this stuff, because there will always be differing opinions on awards. After the technical team has presented the cream, let the fans get their 25% in actual of the finalists, and the 75% goes back to the technical people now to make each their final choice. And then we have the winner, because the fans will come, the excitement, the fan, maybe the club you support, maybe the relative, maybe campaigns, and then the technical people come back to see, okay, in terms of impact, in terms of the weight, which had more. And then you have the 25 plus 75, and then we have the final winner. And perhaps then we'll have a better debate in terms of, was it a popularity contest, or actually how much each contributed to
you know, from what Andrew says, there is a bit of, he talks about sentiment, because the day you FUFA people nominate a football player from Nachilembe, where I'm born, I'll vote him, regardless of whether he's kicked a ball, but provided he's there. When someone has put his name, I'll vote him. And that sentiment is not something you can detach. I know with the way, and if we have talked about the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA Best Player of the Year award, how it's evolved. And Mark, you'll go back. In the 90s, I remember a story of the national team coach of Costa Rica. The moment FIFA came out and asked coaches to vote, every year he voted Faustino Aspirilla. He didn't care what was happening, whether Aspirilla was the 70th best player in the world, the former Newcastle striker. And actually, FIFA were forced to change that you cannot vote your own countryman. And I remember when Diego Maradona was coaching Argentina, he said, this is unfair. How can I vote? How can I not vote Messi? Yet he's the best player in the world, and I cannot vote him because I'm his coach.
I know. I just want to make a small correction for you there. The guy used to vote Paolo Wancho.
Paolo Wancho.
Not Aspia. Because Aspia was calling him. This guy used to vote Paolo Wancho, whether he played or not.
He didn't care. Even if Wancho was injured the entire season and kicked the ball 10 times, he voted him.
I just want to make a follow-up through on that. Number one, you'd be amazed that a number of clubs did not actually vote their own players.
Which is okay.
And if you did a bit of test, you'd find very, very, very interesting scenario. That's number one. Number two, I want to pick it up from Andrew's proposal.
Correction of the criteria.
How then do you validate the 25 and 75 and weigh it up? Don't give me an answer today. Think through it. I am happy to engage probably off the show any other time. But we are open to proposals.
Yes, listen, Rogers.
Just to add on that, actually, if we continue giving it to, because after the technical team has done their bit, the rest is 100% funds. Now, if we had it going back, the 75 to the technical people, not all, it could be a select, we would never have had a FIFA award ceremony where Shaban Muhammad, for helping Onduparaka get promoted and reaching the FA Cup final, Uganda Cup final, beating a Champions League winner in Onyango, who is on the CAF team of the year. Like literally, no coach would vote for Shaban. Now, Shaban had a good season, don't get me wrong. But that was one of, it was a poor awards ceremony up to now. I even feel I flinch.
But let me ask you also. And I'm sure you have more data than myself because this is your industry.
You have more data because you organize.
No, he's only a better communicator than you are.
Let me ask. When has the FA had the MVP of the year, or the best player of the year in the UK, when he's playing outside of the country? I want you to remind me one of that season.
I think actually FUFA made a mistake that year. And it's unfortunate that now I was part of the organizing committee back then. Maybe I do not have the authority. Maybe I should excuse myself from that particular year, because I think they made a mistake. You don't pin Onyango with Shaban.
Exactly.
Because FUFA, their biggest responsibility is the border from Yumbe to Kisoro, to Goma, to Busi and Malaba.
And which we have since corrected in terms of in terms
now
of
that
the
has been corrected.
So we agree that was
it was a blunder. It was a blunder, I thought, for me. The manner in which it was done.
But you see, no, it can't be necessarily their biggest responsibility when the Cranes has been their biggest constituency, and it consists of players who play out of here. One of the suggestions, we are doing suggestions here now. I am thinking, because when you say English Premier League and all, thankfully for them it has been easy because they actually did not too many players operating outside of their borders. But there were years.
But there were years when they have had Real Madrid.
McManaman and Beckham and those guys were winning things and all. So it would be an easy in Inter. It would be tough. But they actually have categories. They have a category for there's an FA Player of the Year. And then there's a player of the year who's actually picked by the media, a journalist player of the year.
Yeah.
And then there's a
football writers player.
Football writers, yeah.
player.
And then there's a players player.
There is a players player, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And there's actually one for the fans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things you might think of. Maybe that might be too expensive and too expansive for you as organizers and also for your sponsors, considering that it involves monetary things and all. But also,
but what are they?
I'd love, because one of the things from what Mark is suggesting, one of the ideas I've liked the most, what about players voting? Then, forget just the captain. Every player in the Premier League votes a player at the end of the season.
Players
Who was
player
the players play of the year. What about if you give all the 400 players that are registered to vote?
Okay, that is something.
So and it's probably the most popular word, Mark, because when your colleagues vote you, probably pays more than Mark.
Is it players that vote or the captains?
No, in the Premier League, the players' play of the year is voted by all registered players who have a Premier League license.
Yeah, they did well. They did well to, for example, now have a foreign-based player of the year at FIFA with also the local-based one. That's good. But even that one was controversial. I mean, fired by or beating Onyango is a tough thing. This is a man who's having 5 penalties per game and things. Yeah. So it just brings me to that question because I'm asking this because I know there's plenty of viewers who are asking that question. And it's, wait, I don't even know why I'm asking you, because I don't know if you just can give me a straight answer there. Are we saying that these awards have absolutely no politics in the FIFA corridors?
Can we do an audit?
Yeah.
Can we commission an
no
audit
politics
as PRESSBOX?
in the FIFA corridors?
Absolutely. And I would like to say here, on PRESSBOX, if anybody wants to come and do a trail audit, you're welcome.
How did you
Andrew, I'm assigning you this story.
How did Yunus Sentamu not be anywhere?
On the final, final 3.
First and foremost, Yunus Sentamu was on the top 5.
Yep.
Beyond the top 5, when the shortlist was done to 3, he did not feature because of administrative issues. And I am not embarrassed to say here, he did not cooperate. All awards have regulations, including promoting the event. If you're not going to participate and promote the brand of the event, then why are we forcing you into it?
You know, Andrew, I know
you're pushing away bottles of Coca-Cola and telling people to drink water.
You've got to be Cristiano to do that and left.
But by the way,
well, the next time he didn't show because he was not going to be voted.
Let me also show here that we actually made a lot of attempts to have him participate in the awards.
You know, Andrew,
and engage the club hierarchy. And all came to none.
Andrew and the viewers, Yunus Sentamu was scrapped off the list because when you get the top 3, the people on the commercial property have to do a promo. So they have to shoot videos to promote the event and remind people that Mark, Andrew, and Ismail are nominated. So what happened? That Yunus refused. He refused to take part in the promo for the event. So on that one, if I'm an owner of a commercial property, sure,
I think it's understandable. We just needed the explanation.
Today's sport is about commerce and economics. It's tough, but for me, then I would cancel this way. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be criticizing, you know, necessarily canceling. But the thing is that then I think then FIFA have got to do a better job of stakeholder engagement. And this one, the stakeholder is Yunus and is a main stakeholder. How do you engage a young? Because you're supposed to guide these are young people. With varied backgrounds and all, how do you engage and sensitize from club to player so that this event then becomes better?
Because then,
one day it might not be, Yunus Sentamu was probably never going to win. How about one day if it's the winner?
If it's a winner.
The winner himself. An outright, a unanimous one, you use the one unanimous.
And you know, Mark, and actually, by the way, you're talking about should not happen at the point of the award. It has to be continuous. Probably during the season, there is a seminar with these guys go around the clubs doing this club pro agenda. Probably explain some of these things to these players because they probably have no clue what exactly that is. But as we are going on,
but I need to say something.
There is Everton against Arsenal on television. We'll probably actually draw.
Please correction.
Yeah, so that game is right there. But I want Rogers to say something. Then I want, before you leave, I want you to listen to what our viewers are saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Rogers,
something also.
Yes, you're going to say.
Number one, I agree with you that we need to do a lot of stakeholder engagement, you know, 360 degrees. But also you need to understand that we're trying to create a professional setup. You're trying to raise professional footballers. We know many players that have retired and continue earning from the game, from the brand they have built. So it is very imperative for our players that are out there listening to manage your brands as football players, because your playing time is limited by nature, but you can elongate your career and earning path if you manage yourself very well, and you need to understand the ethos of corporate management. And I think it's high time that our players took on commercial managers, not just agents that negotiate deals, but also people, professionals that manage their image, their brand, and everything. That way, we can, grow together a professional industry.
Okay. Andrew, before
I read this, maybe this has to be very clear before the people. After the technical team has done the cream, it's the fans that vote 100% from the presented people.
Okay.
That's very clear. So with fans, either way, left or right, it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So let me go to social media. Brian here says, truth be told, Bobosi is a huge talent, but Eric Kambale deserved it given the impact he had on the league and his own club Express. The award was not fair at all. And then we have Sentam Gabriel who says, awards are heavily contested because it's a natural factor. Some will always find a way of complying. And then we have the right boy who says, Messi winning Ballon d'Or was not right, at least Kanye achieved much compared to Messi. I think
no, he meant Kante.
Kante. Yeah, okay.
Kante. Okay. Yeah. And then we have Umar Musazi, MBE. FUFA is the second controversial organization in Uganda. How could
Which
Bobosi,
is the first?
It must be government.
Why are you saying must?
Why are you saying that?
At government's always controversial.
Yeah, they are meant to be. They are meant to be.
So how could Bobosi win Kambale? Guys, let's bring in the stats and championships here. Theft. Then we have Ochan Emo says the FUFA award was just awarded to him because he is Ugandan. The real owner is Congolese. That's why. And then we have just a moment, and then we have I'm running through them because they're fast.
Are you editing? I was on that tweet and I saw.
No, they keep coming.
These are from. I'm going backwards. I'm going backwards. Nwagama Godwin says today a friend told me that Kambale should go and win the award in Congo. Surely, Kambale deserved the award. If FUFA and Airtel denied him the award because of his nationality, then we need more players and effort in the game. Abdul Sesolo says...
Read 5 more.
I've been following and listening to Max Sally since his WBS days and locker room. I followed him to Power FM. I can tell the only way I knew it was Saturday is when I listened to Kabuleta, Mark, and Alan in the locker room. And then we have Chris Bali Mwine who says, about Bobosi, who is better? None. That one definitely belonged to him.
Bobosi, yeah?
Bobosi, yeah.
Okay.
Then Jakisa MD says, for KFM sports listeners, we are not shocked because the scam was already explained with him predicted to be the winner. Okay. Kawesa Roger says, no player on planet Earth had more personal achievements than Messi. Okay. And then we have Omar. I'm reading Omar too much. Then this is Ibrahim. He says, whoever questions Bobos is simply subjective. All the same contestations make competition worthwhile. And then we have Ayalili who says, the award things are always biwamvu. Because we all have varying opinions and favorites, noting that there's no official kind of criteria in place. Now you know the criteria. So let's just make a toast in celebration of those who win. Yeah. And then let me read these 3, and then we're good to go.
Okay.
Kenny Rogers, wow. Kenny Rogers, Uganda. Bad thing with the Ugandan award was that everyone votes online and nominees who were voted out of love by their loyal fans and not technical people. The players even campaigned for themselves. And then we have, I said 2 more. Diana who says, what do you mean? Can you name any player who was better and deserving than Bobosi Biaruhanga? I can't speak for the ladies because I only watched a few of their games, but Bobosi did well in UPL and national team. He deserved the award. Finally, Angel says, hi, beautiful men. Whoa. Thanks for the show. I think before we make all these arguments, the awarding committee should put out a statement on what they put into consideration when choosing an appropriate winner. I heard that for Ballon d'Or, they considered career too.
Ballon d'Or is voted by journalists, including our colleague Fred Musichinji. Mark, I want to take a break. And when we come back, when we come back, you're going to speak first.
Yeah,
because I want to retain him.
Rogers,
because we are going to use this then to link into the messy debate that you hinted on last week about how he did not deserve the award. I could go on. There are so many people I don't think. But sometimes I think that there aren't enough awards in the world. That's why PressBox doesn't have enough time. We'll be right back.